Exactly does Eskom supply? Obviously, besides South Africa, it is 7 different countries in the region, all listed there. The other issue is, if we're selling to our neighbors, how reliant are they on Eskom? Just take Zimbabwe, for example, 154 gigawatt hours in 2013, 2014. About 6 years on, that demand from Zimbabwe growing to 2,250 gigawatt hours. I know that in Namibia, NamPower, they have a live, real-time website that allows you to show or to see exactly where electricity is coming in from. About 200 megawatts is coming from Eskom. It was this morning, it is this afternoon. They have a 5-year agreement in place which was signed in 2016 for Eskom to supply them with at least 200 megawatts. So while South Africans are being load shed, it would appear that Eskom is still beholden to those contracts that they signed. And that would just be for Namibia that we've been able to find. I know that in countries like Zambia and Zimbabwe, it's 50 megawatts peak that South Africa supplies, or Eskom supplies, and 300 megawatts off-peak. Do we sell when there is load shedding? This is the biggest question. Should we be sitting in the dark when our neighbors are sitting with the lights on? The 2 countries within our border, Swaziland and Lesotho, are proportionally load shed. When South Africans are load shed, they feel the pain themselves. And do we only sell to excess electricity to SADC countries? And I've put a question mark there because I've put questions through to Eskom, both to Kulupasiwe and Andrew Etzinger. Despite the claims that we're going to get better communication, we have not been able to get an answer on whether or not we are continuing to sell electricity at a time when South Africa cannot provide for itself. Where does Eskom import electricity from? Primarily Mozambique. And it would just so happen that you have a natural disaster, the cyclone that took down 2 lines, the Kohora-Bassa lines, that up to 1,500 megawatts daily is what we would get from Mozambique. So that is just adding insult to injury at the moment. And then an interesting question about the future of hydroelectric generation potential in the SADC region. If you look at countries like Zambia, Mozambique, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, 1,000 megawatts, 5,000, and 20,000 after 2025. These 2 are on the short to medium term. So a lot of energy experts have said if Eskom is trying to sell itself out of debt, it's not sustainable because some of the biggest energy producers in the region have got their own plans in place. So trying to sell your way out of debt is simply not sustainable.